Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This lecture is about a rare but fatal thrombotic thrombocytopenic purpura and a hemolytic uremic syndrome. Thrombotic microangiopathy, it is a pathology resulting in the thrombus formation in the microvasculatures such as capillaries and arterioles. The term thrombotic microangiopathy encompasses a spectrum of clinical syndromes that include thrombotic thrombocytopenic purpura and hemolytic uremic syndrome. They are caused by insults that lead to excessive activation of platelets, which deposit as thrombi in small blood vessels. TTP is defined as the pentate, and the easy acronym for that is FAT or N. There are the five symptoms are fever, microangiopathic hemolytic anemia, thrombocytopenia, renal failure, and transient neurologic deficits. Pathogenesis. In this condition, intravascular thrombi they cause a microangiopathic hemolytic anemia and widespread organ dysfunction, and the attendant consumption of platelets lead to thrombocytopenia. While disseminated intravascular coagulation and thrombotic microangiopathies share features such as microvascular occlusion and microangiopathic hemolytic anemia, they are pathologically distinct. In TTP and HUS, there is no activation of coagulation cascade. As a result, the coagulation tests such as PT and APTT they will be normal, while in DIC the PT and APTT they will be deranged. Although certain features of the various thrombotic microangiopathies they overlap, the trigger for the pathogenic platelet activation are distinctive, and they provide a more satisfying and clinically relevant way of thinking about these disorders. TTP is usually associated with the deficiency in the plasma enzyme called ADAMTS13, also designated as von Willebrand factor metalloproteases. ADAMTS13 normally degrade a very high molecular weight multimers of von Willebrand factor. In its absence, these multimers they will accumulate in the plasma and they will trigger the platelet activation and aggregation. Superimposition of endothelial cell injury may further promote the formation of platelet microaggregates, thus initiating or exacerbating clinically evident TTP. The deficiency of ADAMTS13 they can be inherited or acquired. In the acquired form, the ADAMTS levels they are normal, but an autoantibody is present that will inhibit the normal functioning of this metalloprotease. While in inherited form, which is less common, an activating mutation in ADAMTS13 is observed. In those with hereditary ADAMTS13 deficiency, the onset is often delayed until adolescence and the symptoms are episodic. Thus, factors other than ADAMTS13 they must be involved in triggering full-blown TTP. In this picture, it shows the pathogenesis of TTP in the normal conditions. This is the plasma, and these are the endothelial cells. The only the monomer or dimer they are present in the plasma. While in acquired TTP, an autoantibody is present that will bind with the protease and inhibits it functioning. As a result, you will see the dimers or even polymers of von Willebrand factor in the circulation. This will trigger the platelet activation and aggregation, and the thrombi they are formed. Similarly, in familial TTP, the proteases they will be absent or their functioning will be defective. Treatment. TTP, it is an important diagnosis to consider in any patient presenting with thrombocytopenia and microangiopathic hemolytic anemia because delay in the diagnosis can be fatal. With plasma exchange, which will remove the autoantibodies and provide the functional ADAMTS13, TTP can be treated successfully in more than 80% of the patients. The next thrombotic microangiopathic pathology is hemolytic uremic syndrome. It is also associated with microangiopathic hemolytic anemia and thrombocytopenia, but it is distinguished from TTP by the absence of neurological symptoms, the prominence of acute renal failure, and frequent occurrence in the children. With time, experience, and increased mechanistic insight, however, these distinctions they have blurred, and many adult patients they are now being presented with TTP, which are lacking one or more of the five criteria, and some patients with HUS they have fever and neurologic dysfunction. Pathogenesis. In contrast to TTP, HUS is associated with normal levels of ADAMTS13 and is initiated by several other distinct defects. Typical HUS is strongly associated with infectious gastroenteritis, which is caused by E. coli strain O157H7, which elaborates a Shiga like toxin. This toxin is absorbed from the inflamed gastrointestinal mucosa into the circulation, where it alters the endothelial cell function in some manner, and it results in platelet activation and aggregation. Children and older adults are at high risk. Those affected present with bloody diarrhea, and few days later HUS makes its appearance. With appropriate supportive care, complete recovery is possible, but irreversible renal damage and death can occur in more severe cases. As we have seen that the acute renal failure is more severe in HUS, as a result, the death can occur if patient is untreated or neglected. Atypical HUS is often associated with the defects in complement factor H, membrane cofactor protein CD64 or factor 1, three proteins that normally act to prevent excess activation of alternative complement pathway. Deficiencies of these patients can be caused by inherited defects or acquired inhibitory autoantibodies and are associated with the remitting relapsing course. Unlike TTP, the basis for platelet activation in typical and atypical HUS is unclear. Treatment. Typical HUS is treated supportively. Patients who survive the acute insult usually recover, but some have permanent renal damage and eventually require dialysis or renal transplantation. Therapeutic antibodies that inhibit the activation of complement factor C5 are effective in preventing thrombosis in patients with inherited deficiencies of complement regulatory protein, proving that excessive complement activation underlies the pathogenesis of this form of HUS. Prognosis. Thrombotic microangiopathies resembling HUS can also be seen following exposure to other agents that damage endothelial cells. The prognosis in these settings is guarded because HUS is often complicated by chronic life-threatening conditions. Thank you.